What's up, Wizards? It's Dev from Mtg, aka El Burro Diablo, and today we've got like what is actually my real favorite deck in Standard right now. And over the last 2 weeks, I posted a clip of this deck on Twitter last week, and since then I've had a lot of people ask me when it's coming. We're finally doing it, y'all. This is the Izoni deck. In case you haven't seen this card in a while, I don't blame me for having to read it. Basically, it's just an enter the battlefield trigger where you get a number of 1/1 tokens equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard when Izoni enters the battlefield. You can also sack creatures to gain life and draw cards, and that can be really important some of the time too, so don't forget that line of text. But what we're mostly interested in here is the ability to create 12 or 13 or more tokens when this enters the battlefield. And there's a couple of cool things we can do with Izoni, like combo with Izoni in this deck. The first is Thassa, Deep Dwelling. You know, just play Izoni on your turn, and then flicker it at the end of turn, and suddenly you double up on tokens. And then next turn you get more tokens and more tokens and more tokens. And the best way to take advantage of that, aside from just attacking with them, is having Ayara First of Lockthwain out. This is the clip that I posted to Twitter, and I think I got 11 triggers. It may have been 8 triggers in that video, but either way, whenever you play Izoni with an Ayara out, especially if it's late enough in the game, you just get so many triggers, and that's my favorite thing to do on Arena. You know, in Paper Magic, I really like milling opponents out. I like attacking with ridiculously huge creatures in Paper Magic. All that's fun, but the visual representation of 15 triggers going on the stack in Arena is just crack. It is super addictive, and it's made me love this deck so much. Ayara is one of the key pieces, but we don't necessarily need her to do stuff, right? Even without Thassa, Izoni can just put 12 or more tokens out some of the time, and that ends the game right then and there. But combined with Thassa and Ayara, ridiculous. So the entire rest of the deck is just ways to put creatures in our yard. You know, Secret Keeper, Wall of Lost Thoughts, Mire Triton, Glowspore Shaman, Gorging Vulture, Cavalier of Thorns. They all put stuff into our graveyard, and most of our cards are creatures, save for the Tamiyo, which also puts creatures in our yard, so no harm, no foul there. And then Blood for Bones, which gets creatures out of our yard, which is cool, because we're going to put a bunch of them there. You know, occasionally we might want to get one out. You know, we dump the one Agent of Treachery in the deck into the graveyard, Blood for Bones can get it out. If we dump a Blood for Bones in the yard, Tamiyo can get it out for us, so a lot of interplay there. And of course, if you get your Agent of Treachery, you can blink it with Thassa. Dirtiest trick in Standard, but we have access to it. We're playing Thassa anyway, might as well work in a copy of Agent of Treachery, as divisive as it is, you know. So that's basically the deck. Aside from, I guess, the Euro. Again, we're putting stuff in our yard, so it should be pretty easy to escape Euro if we got nothing better to do. So, but this deck always has something to do. And despite the fact that it's not the best deck in Standard, I'm not going to make that claim. This is nowhere near the best deck in Standard. The Izoni deck is still super fun, super addictive. I have been playing it on and off now for 2 weeks straight, and I can't get enough of it. And it doesn't have, you know, great removal or any removal if you're really keeping score, you jerk. But it doesn't really have great removal or anything. And honestly, it's kind of one-dimensional, though not linear. Some games are linear where you just go turn 1 Secret Keeper, turn 2 Glowspore Shaman, turn 3 Gorging Vulture, turn 4 Blood for Bones, get back in Izoni or an Agent of Treachery, and then you're just off to the races, right? So some games can be linear, but a lot of other games take many different, you know, variations and deviances and stuff. So, you know, not the most complicated deck in the world, but sometimes not the easiest deck to pilot either. So it doesn't have everything going for it, but it's still fun factor means the most to me at the end of the day. And this is a deck I've definitely been having the most fun with. So let's go ahead and get some games in with it and see if we can get it to pop off. Because when this deck pops off, thing of beauty. Let's go. Alright, so opponent goes first here, and this hand looks okay. We can Secret Keeper Mire Triton turn 1 and 2, but that'll cost us some life. And we have to get another black source to cast this Ayara. Casting Ayara on time is one of the hardest issues with the deck, because we only have 16 black sources, I think. It might even be 15. Terramander turn 1 for MQQman434. Cool name. And now the time has come to decide what we do on turn 1 against this mono blue Flyers. It might be blue white Flyers. I've been seeing a lot more of this deck lately. It's really good, actually. And I sort of fear for our chances against blue white Flyers. So what I'm going to do is let this enter tapped, this Watery Grave for turn 1. Say go. What you got? What you got, MQQ, man? Yeah, it's blue white Flyers. It's blue white Flyers all day. Empyrean Eagle next turn, or maybe EOT, the Sailor. That'd be a thing to do. Alright, so let's Watery Graves. It's going to cost us some life. Mire Triton. Might should have Secret Keepered, but I'm going to go with Mire Triton. Go ahead and try to get some offense going on the ground here. Put a couple of cards in our yard. We got an Uro. That's cool. No creature, though, aside from Uro. They're going to opt DOT. Not a bad play. This Blue White Flyers deck is seriously good. I just put it on a Patreon poll, actually, yesterday. It's not the most popular option or anything, but I would like to cover it at some point. Maybe just for dank jank even, just because it's a good deck, man. Like, it's fairly budget. Alright, Brianborn. You sometimes see that in this deck, so they try to play it instant speed. But you still get Winged Words and stuff, and Empyrean Eagle. All around, sweet deck. Alright, this turn we can just Mire Triton again, probably. It's pretty decent against this Brianborn Cutthroat. Uro. Well, we've already got one. Like, do we want to cast Uro next turn? Not really. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. That's right. I'd forgotten what I was saying. Sorry about that. But with Ayara, sometimes you don't have to, cast it on curve. And sometimes it's, like, the wrong answer to cast it on curve. It all depends on exactly what's going on with the board state or, like, what you're playing against. If you can slip down an Ayara past, like, counterspell defenses, sometimes it's best to do it on turn 3. But other times you really don't need it at all until it's time to set up the combo. So, casting a Ayara on curve, like, not really a huge deal in this deck. It's not something I worry about so much. They Mystic Sanctuary, got the Opt back on top, and they played another Terramander. That's a pretty sweet turn. I had no problem with that. Alright, Fable Passage now or Swamp now? Well, depends. Let's see. We Blood for Bones, but like we just got lands and stuff and an Uro, so not a big deal. I guess, let's see. We Fable Passage, and then we're only like a couple away from the Uro. We can also Glow Spore this turn. That's maybe what we should do. Glow Spore this turn, set up the Uro next turn or something. Yeah. Go ahead and pop Fable Passage. Could get the Black Source, but we already have the Black Source in our hand for Ayara. We've got plenty of blue sources. I'll take a green here for Uro, for easier casting of Uro. And then we can Glow Spore, hopefully. Maybe they'll absorb it or something. We can still Secret Keeper, though, if they do. Yeah, Sinister Sabotage, that's fine. I ain't too worried about it. Secret Keeper. Target us. We got an Izoni. Alright, we got some creatures in there, so that's cool beans. No attacks. Let's keep holding off this Brineborn Cutthroat. Goes with the main phase Opt. Oh, keeps it on top and draws it. So that must be pretty decent. But it's not an Empyrean Eagle or anything. I'm just going to take our 2 this turn. Getting to the point where, let's see, 7, 8, some 6. It'll cost some 6. Going to be able to adapt to Terramander somewhat soon. I guess it's not that big of a deal, though. Alright, if we Izoni this turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get 4 tokens off of it. It's not a guarantee that we'll actually hit it, though. We might just sack a creature for nothing, but we can always Blood for Bones again next turn. See if we can slip that one in, right? I think that might be the best idea. Because, like, I can sacrifice as a Secret Keeper. It means nothing. So, it actually just puts more creatures in our yard. So, well, let's go. What you got? You got a spell that counters things? Yep, Sinister Sabotage. That's fine. Like I said, it's totally fine. If they have another counter spell next turn, it's going to kind of suck, but I'll take it. No attacks. It's like, at least we get another chance at it. White Source for the opponent. Swinging over for 2. They could adapt to Terramander right now if they wanted to. They're not going to go for it. We're at 15. Speaking of death by 1,000 cuts. Alright. We gotta pull the trigger on this Blood for Bones. See if they have the counter or not. What you gonna do? Spectral Sailor. Okay. Alright, so we get an Izoni here. Should we get Gorging Vulture? Maybe we should return Gorging Vulture to our hand. Let's go Izoni. Gorging Vulture it is, right? Sure. Sure. And here's a bunch of tokens. Alright, so that's not terrible. No attacks. Still not going to win any races this way, I don't think. 5 tokens seems like a lot. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Neat. Opponent gets a card draw engine. People give Jace crap, but that is a card draw engine. That's a fine card. Opponent getting in with all the flyers. I guess we can kill their Jace. That's a thing to do. Alright, so we can Gorging Vulture and Mire Triton this turn. And I think that sounds fine. We could also try and Eero this turn. But I'd rather just go ahead and develop the boards. Actually, if we Eero this turn, we might not even end up being able to attack with it thanks to this Brineborn Cutthroat getting in its way. But hey, we might be able to take out the Brineborn Cutthroat at some point soon with the Eero. That's something to consider. But I'm actually kind of happy just holding things off, you know. So let's not attack with that. Let's just get in with all of these tokens. It would actually have been easier to click all attack and then not attack with Izoni and Mire Triton, but whatever. Let's just get in. Their Jace is going to take 4. I don't want to lose Mire Triton. I know we're going to have another one, but I still don't want to lose Mire Triton. Not yet. Well, let's not scry before we mill cards. Hard-learned lesson. It's Gorging Vulture. Ooh, there's some nice nugs in there. Mire Triton. Just a couple lands. Temple of Mystery. Cavalier. I will take that. Thank you very much. Cool. Setting up all right here. Again, our opponent's going to start adapting these Terramanders, and I don't love that. Hey, they put the cards in our yard. We can get the Stassa back with a Blood for Bones or a Tameo or something. That would be ideal. What all's in here? Cavalier Thassa, another Izoni. There's a Tameo in there. It kind of sucks. 2 Blood for Bones. Bunch of creatures. Could always draw a Tameo or a Thassa. Drawing a Thassa would be amazing. But our opponent's having a thinker over there. Must be tough. It's going to draw a card main phase with Spectral Sailor. Huh. They had 4 cards in their hand. It's hard to believe they don't have anything worth casting, but we'll see. Maybe they're holding up Quench. Ooh. Ooh. Izoni. Alright. So not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. Well, yeah, you. Actually, I should just send... I should send all the bugs. Send in the bugs. I want our opponent to try and do something at instant speed here. Okay, nothing. Yeah, why lose creatures when you could just lose your Jays? I want to try for Izoni again so bad. I really do. What I'm going to try here is Ayara. Oh, wow. It came down like they didn't have anything in their hand. At least not a 2-mana counter. See, at this point, if we land Izoni next turn, we can just win. Staggering Insight on the Terramander. Oh, and you've adapted it. Oh, okay, cool. Now, the Terramander does have lifelink, so we're not just going to like win outright. They're going to gain a bunch of life. But that's still really... Ooh. Ooh, a Thassa. I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but I'd rather go ahead and resolve the Thassa. You know? So let's do that. Should I no attacks? Alright, so we got 4. We just can't attack with Izoni or Ayara. No attacks. In the turn. Target Izoni. And let's go! Let's get some triggers. 9 of them. That's pretty hot. That's a lot of life to be gaining. Bop, 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 bop. Get him. Woo! The old machine gun. Next turn, we might be able to cast Izoni and then blink Izoni again. That'll be like 19 triggers, or 20 triggers. This Izoni will go to the graveyard. So, drawing a card, main phase. They've got to have another counter in their hand at this point. I mean, it's basically a full grip of cards. What you got coming in? With Terry. Scary Terry over there. Block with the Vulture. And then we can maybe just start... We could just like tap down that Terramander. Wall of Lost Thoughts. Doesn't do much at this point. We could always Wall of Lost Thoughts. And then like... You know, that would put more creatures in our yard. So that's a thought. We'd still have mana to tap down Terramander with Thassa. Is that the play? You know, because I really don't want to get this Izoni countered. I don't think it matters. Let's just swing in. All attacks, everything except for the 2 of y'all, because you're kind of important. I'll also keep back a Mire Trident, again, because I don't think it matters. Alright, what are you doing? Rally of Wings? Or Brineborn? Okay, that's fine. That's whatever. What else you got? Something. A Spectral Sailor. Wow, their whole team is in their hand. Cool. Maybe we should. It's good that we left up this Mire Trident, right? But we're gonna gain a bunch more life, hopefully, at the end of this turn. I hope nothing goes wrong here. Block, block, blocks. Big blocks. Hot blocks. All right, so I mean we win, right? We can just resolve this Izoni at this point. We're at 12. All right, kid. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever, that's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter which one we keep, but fine. 11. Oh, that's perfect. Nice. 12. Machine gun. Sorry, MQQ man 434. Sorry. That was exactly what the deck does, everybody. That was the perfect example. I guess we can all go home. Now I'm going to get like at least 2 more in. But that is exactly what the deck does. We could not have gotten a better representation of what I'm trying to do here. Holy God. That was the game. Let's try another one. All right, we go first in this game. And we can like Wall of Lost Thoughts or Mire Trident on turn 2. But this Ayara is looking forever away. So is this Izoni. But at least we got him. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So I think it might go okay. In some ways, I'd rather have Izoni. I'd rather not have Izoni in the opening hand. 6 mana is forever away, you know. I'd rather just mill it into our yard and get it back with something. But I'm going to try this. Get that sweet scry on turn 2, or on turn 1 with Tample. Blood for Bones. Hi. Hello, Blood for Bones. Probably going to regret that, but I'm going to put it on bottom. I'd really just rather get another land at this point. And there's no guaranteeing that we will. Well, there's Fable Passage. would have worked out, but whatever. You know, can't dwell on things. I think I made the right decision at the time. Let's Mire Trident. I want to play the Forest. This day and age, I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's Teamer Adventures. They didn't get their Edge All-In Keeper. I really want to cover the Teamer Adventures deck. And there are 2 Overgrown Tombs on top. Woof. Surfire. And alright, so it's just some sort of stompy concoction. Which I'm fine with. Let's throw down Fable Passage. Wall of Lost Thoughts. Let's lose some thoughts here. Target us. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so 2 glow spores and 2 lands. Both temples of mystery. Gonna be be losing out on some lands here this game. Are there already like 4 in our yard? Yeah. Woof. that's fine. We can Gorging Vulture next turn. We're well on our way to putting a lot of creatures in our yard, so that when we do eventually, let's go ahead and pop this Fabled Passage. So when we do eventually get Izoni down, it'll be worth it. Let's see, what do we need? Black Sores. All day. Easy decision. Hey, and it's another Black Source. We can Ayara, like, right this second if we want to. But do we? You know? Oh, it's red. There's red over there. Only just now, I'm very preoccupied. Yeah. Let's go ahead and Ayara. Just waiting for a Domri's ambush. But that's okay. That's the thing about this deck, is like, it's okay, right? We can get stuff back. We got Blood for Bones, we got Tamiyo. Should be fine. Getting in. It just puts more creatures in our yard. It's fine. Usually I'd block Sir Farron in this situation, but Paradise Druid is not only bigger, it's a Paradise Druid. Like, you just don't have too many chances to get rid of it. Imbacleave! Woof! Well, I kind of expected it. It's not going to give... Never mind on that getting rid of Paradise Druid line. We're at 12. Which isn't great. Yeah, I'm going to level with you. That's not good. Whatsoever. Alright, this Paradise Druid is doing 3, 4, 5. So... yeah. I guess we can throw both these creatures in front of it. That's... dumb. Even that wouldn't work. Even with Gorging Vulture, it wouldn't work. Still gonna play Gorging Vulture, though. Try to gain some life. 2, 3, 4. Yay. We gain 1 and put a Tamiyo in our yard. That's not awesome. That's not very cool. What I'd really like to do is just get a Blood for Bones next turn and get the Agent of Treachery. That'd be the best thing that could ever happen, but alas, I don't think it's going to. Yep, you just get to attacking Gruul deck. That's what you do best. Oops, they say. Not sure why. I think that's a genuine oops for once. I don't think that's like a mind games oops. Of course, you can never tell. All right, so they only attacked with Paradise Druid. That can only mean that they have like Collision Colossus or Infuriate or something, I bet, but that's cool. What I will do is totally put these 2 creatures in my yard. I will also block with Ball of Thoughts. All of my creatures can die. I'm totally fine. Of course, then I'm going to feel real silly if we draw the Blood for Bones and they end up killing all of our creatures this turn. Oh, you don't have a trick. Okay. So, I mean, Paradise Druid's dead. It's probably for the best. What else you got, though, this turn? It's a Voracious Hydra. Double the tokens, or double the counters. Alright. Really need to start drawing lands here, and Izoni would actually be very nice. All things considered, but I'll take a Mire Trident and, I guess a Wall of Lost Thoughts. Oh, Blood for Bones was on top. Well, you know, it's the risk you take, I guess. Can't be too mad at that. Let's target ourselves. Let's get another Blood for Bones in there. Alright, actual creatures this time. That's good. We do still have to draw like 2 lands, and that's... I don't know if that's going to happen. They're going to attach this Blood for Bones, this Embercleave to this Voracious Hydra. Let's take our head off. Oh, that's bad. Well, let's soak up as much as we can, I guess. Ooh, big boy. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't really see us doing anything this game. Oh man, let's go to 5. Cool deck, Gruul player. Oh, we get a Cavalier we can't cast. That's pretty awesome. Oh man, let's see what we can put in our yard here. You see that last game where like everything went perfectly right? that was representative of what I want to be doing, but this game is representative of what also tends to happen sometimes when you play this deck. So don't think it's all, you know, peaches and cream, lollipops and unicorns and flibberty gibbets, you know. It's sometimes that happens too. All right, last one. We're in against, I don't know, toe nap, I suppose. Taking a toe nap over there. And we don't have a blue source, which is not great. But we can glow spore on turn 2, so sure. I'll keep it. Maybe we'll get the blue source off the glow spore, huh? So it's fine. Maybe glow spore dump something nice and juicy in our yard. Or maybe they will, huh? Huh? Nice. Hope we're playing against a mill deck that isn't playing the Ashiok that exiles your yard. If it is, we lose. 2 top. Oh. Ooh. Ugh. I don't like when you put both on top. That makes me really nervous. So let's glow spore shaman. Thassa, Tamiyo, land. So I want this land on top. Do I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take this land. Sure. There are cards that cost 7 mana on our deck, kid. Oh, Devour of Memory! Yeah! Let's play against this deck. Dude, I'm playing with a Devour of Memory deck right now that's very good. Like, I tweeted about it weeks ago, but I still haven't done dank jank or anything with it, and I really need to. That deck is very good. This deck is good, everybody. Let's see. I'm just going to have this in our tap. I think our opponent's going to put enough cards in our yard. Maybe they'll start putting cards in theirs, though, honestly. So Surveil, yeah, there it is. Disinformation Campaign. Secret Keeper. It's not going to be able to block anyway. Before too long. This will start going unblocked. So... Take a blue source in case we have to escape an Uro. Or a black source, you know, maybe we need an Ayara here soon. That's a tough decision. I'll go black source. We're doing a lot more with black mana in this deck, period, so... Can't make us discard with that disinformation campaign, at least not while this is out. Anything in our yard that we want? I mean, the Tammy will just die next turn if we get something out, but whatever. Thassa's in there, but there are better ways to get the Thassa out. Choose a non-land card name. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What's on the short list? Maybe I'll take a Cavalier of Thorns here. Yeah, we'll go Cavalier. We didn't get it, but put a bunch of creatures in our yard. None of them great, though. None of them worth reanimating. We still need a creature to actually begin reanimating with Blood for Bones. Throwing away the Secret Keeper seems wrong at this point. But I didn't want to get rid of anything else, honestly. I still stand by that decision. Whisper Agent. We're going to get the Surveil. I didn't end up playing this many creatures in my Devoured Memory deck. Although I will say, Overwhelmed Apprentice, I should play. I'm not playing this, and I should be playing it. Seems like a no-brainer at this point, but I was just mostly looking to surveil and stuff to make Disinformation Campaign work. So nice, our opponent reads the Tamiyo. I've had a lot of people not realize that Tamiyo, you know, keeps you from, you know, having to discard stuff. So. All right, what do we want? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, we would have gotten a Cavalier. Like, I was thinking Cavalier, but, you know. Whatever. Let's go with Izoni here. We didn't get it. Oh, just a bunch of lands. Yuck. Man, deck's not cooperating this game at all. We can get this Euro back, though. And that's a pretty cool play. Maybe that's what we'll do. If we get a land next turn, we'll try to get Izoni. Two Blood for Bones that just aren't really pulling their weight. We do have a Thassa in there, though, so... Ah! Oh, well. They'll kill our Tamiyo. Good attack step there. If I do say so myself. Should have gotten the other blue source, but I guess we can cast the Ayara. I mean, I wanted the black source so we could get to Ayara eventually. So, got my wish. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. Let's see if they have more removal in their hand. Probably just make us discard. Oh, another Devourer. Coming in with Agent. We can take that hit. Okay. Pay the 2 life, get the Euro back. Land, land, land. 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 Submit. Alright, so Euro's pretty cool. That's a good play. But the Overgrown Tomb out. Enters tapped. No attacks. And alright. We're not sitting pretty, but it's looking okay. Bond of Insight. Ew. Hey, there's an Izoni in our yard now. There's an Izoni in our yard. I like that. Swing for 6. Alright. Let's attack with Euro. Draw this card. Gain this life. Put this land out. Bam. Alright. Opponent at 14. Oh, come on. We were doing it. Dude, we were doing it. Oh, dude. We were going to do it. Just imagine that we cast Mire Trident, and then we Blood for Bone, sacrificing the Mire Trident, got the Izoni back, and got God knows how many tokens, and then Ayara triggered. Just imagine that it actually happened, because we didn't get a chance to see it happen, but it would have. I promise you that it would have. Man, we got some gold over here. That's nice. But man, okay, so 3-1 in these games. Is that how that shook out just now? Again, though, not the best deck in Standard. Not a good deck. Like, it's not. I won't even go out on a limb and call this like a good deck. It's just a fun deck. And it actually worked a number of times. If you can work your way into the late game in this deck, the late game is amazing with Ayara and Izoni and Thassa. I mean, we saw that pop off a couple of times. We saw our opponent scoop before it could pop off a couple of times, but just know that it was going to. So I'm telling you, like right now in Standard, a lot of what the game is about is having like a really good late game. And this deck just has an incredible late game. And multiple ways of, like, even if your plan gets foiled, you got Blood for Bones to get that Ayara or that Izoni or that Thassa back, Tamiyo to do all that same stuff, you know. Even if you can't win off the normal plan, you've got Cavalier of Thorns in here to do a bunch of damage, you know. Plus, things like Mire Trident and Gorging Vulture actually do matter in the early game for keeping your life total at a decent level to make sure that you can assemble the combo and get it off. Same thing with Euro, you know. We saw Euro effectively win that game, although I'm not sure our opponent knew what we were about to try to do. They just didn't want to have to stack up against Euro. I think that might have been what's happening in that game, but I wish our opponent would have stuck around for literally 20 seconds. But you know, either way, I still feel like we got the combo off in that game because they were tapped out and we were about to go ham on it. So yeah, if you liked it, I'll leave a link in the description to the deck list on TCG Player. This is a great F&M deck. I can tell you that right now. I bet this is a fun one to go to F&M with, man. I have not played this deck in paper, but man, I bet in paper it feels so good. Chuck Mangione feels so good, man. It's a fun deck, y'all. I want to play more games with it at some point in the future, maybe. Maybe when the next set comes out, we'll revisit it. I just really, really like this deck, if you can't tell. So, again, if you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description to the deck list. You know, chop it up however you want to. because there's definitely, you know, evolution this deck could go through. With that in mind, give me your suggestions in the comment section for how to improve this deck. What could go in that I didn't end up playing, you know, because I do think there are some things you could play. But aside from that, please like the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out, puts me in more recommended feeds, and that's something I'm having trouble with lately. You know, I've had subscribers and stuff tell me that my videos aren't showing up in their recommended. So like it, share it around if you have the capacity and the willpower to do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet for more stuff like this. You know, Deck Tech coming up sooner on this week. More gameplay with Green-Black Death Touch. That's going to be our next gameplay. So a lot of stuff coming up this week, this month. Some spoiler season soon too. So sub for all that. Hit the bell for the notifications. Help me out on Patreon. $1 a month is all I ask. It'll help you vote for what decks you want to do. And it's the best way to support me, you know. So do that if you want to. If not, I'm just glad that you're here, you know. But again, get at me in the comment section. I really want to know how you think we can improve this deck, because like right now I'm kind of like all about this deck and I want it to be as good as possible. So let me know down there any thoughts that you might have. Pick up the deck through TCG Player if you're interested in it, and I will catch you cats later. I'm Deb from the place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.